Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Black Geek Energy. I'm one of the co hosts of Black Geek Energy, Jardo, and I'm joined by.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode.
I just said that.
This is Demarcus, and it's gonna be another great episode of Black Geek Energy, man. Yeah,
You know
let's
what you don't do
go.
anymore? You don't tell us what the D stands for. What does the D stand for on today's episode? Or do we do that at the
Destruction.
end? You've already used destruction. No, I think that was just Brass D.
I don't think I've ever said destruction on the
No,
podcast.
no, you haven't said destruction. That was the funniest day. You weren't
Yeah,
there.
I
You
was
weren't
there.
there.
I was there
You
for
was
Al Davis.
so you were okay. I wasn't marching then.
Mm-mm.
So you
Ma-
marched with Al Davis?
Yeah, my freshman year we had Al Davis.
Oh, okay.
hmm
I thought I was marching when this happened.
Al Davis gave me my scholarship to Hampton.
Oh wow. He came down
hmm
to
Came down to
Grady.
Grady
Mm.
High School, and what auditioned me himself.
Oh. So, for those who don't know, Al Davis was one of the band directors at Hampton University. And in this long diatribe about why you shouldn't haze in the band, he then goes on to tell us that Brass D, which nobody knew what the D stand for. You had to do things to know what the D stands for in the band. So he tells us he founded Brass D, and he is the one who can tell us about Brass D. And if anybody wants to know about Brass D, the D stands for destruction.
That DS4. He had a
Destruction.
lisp. He had a lisp, y'all. So it was like the DS4 destruction.
It was so funny because
We was because it was a secret.
it was a secret. It was like a
It
secret
was a
since the 1970s.
hmm
And then
and he just let it out.
he just laid it out, and the whole Trump, that was the trumpet section. So the whole trumpet section was like
hmm
looking like, what in the world is he doing? And everybody else was laughing. And then for the rest of that year, we just said destruction, destruction, destruction. It was a great, great time.
Yeah.
And it was like at the end of practice when everybody had to be around the ladder for the end
Mhm.
announcements.
But why did he do that? Do you remember, Jarek?
He
Like,
was saying something. It was about hazing. It was about hazing in the band.
I
So
guess
it was something.
he was trying to get folks to stop hazing, and
Mm.
so he was like, "Oh, if I let out all the secrets, then no one will care."
Well, that didn't work. Anyways, Demarcus, we're gonna start this week like we start every week on Black Geek Energy. How has your previous week been since we haven't talked? Because we are not recording on our typical day or our typical time.
We are not. Well, yeah, we are not. We are not. It's the old day and the old time.
I thought we used to record on Wednesdays.
It was Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we used to record on Tuesdays, and back when we had three hosts.
Mm.
But my previous week has been pretty good, man. I was down in Memphis for the weekend. A little more than a weekend, long weekend. Got back last night. Um and I was down there for a Juneteenth celebration hosted by one of my good friends, Farella, um, and her family. And it was really dope, man. They had like food trucks, they had ATVs for the kids
Mm.
to ride, they had bounce houses, snow cones, open bar, lit.
Mm.
hmm There was a whole like section of like Kappas there.
Oh, so they're
And
a
we
big
ain't
Kappa family.
apparently not. Apparently she only has a few Kappas in her family, but they invited like their chapter brothers and like a lot of them showed up.
Mm. So did
Yeah.
you go like introduce yourself and shake their hands or something?
Nah, for what?
I don't think we can say on the show openly.
Mm-mm. I mean, I feel like I'm past that point in my life, Jared.
Oh, well, that's kind of sad.
I don't think so.
Hmm. So you're with Fair, who, as y'all know,
Hmm.
Fair plays the D&D episodes with us.
She does. She
Um,
does.
and you were there, and Shauna went. So Shauna met some of your. Oh, Shauna already knew her from the Battle
Yep.
Dance.
Shauna already knew Fair, but she did get to meet Zoe, who played trombone. She is. I'm trying to remember what class is that, but I don't remember what class she is. But she was class of 2015.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So it was like a big band thing with Fair's family.
A big band thing. No, because from the Hampton band was with me, Fair, and Zoe was the only folks that was there from the band.
Hmm.
But there have been other band folks there in past years. Like one year, Carla went. I don't know if you know who Carla is. Yeah, yeah. Once you wasn't in the band no more, you didn't care about folks in the band.
Hmm. I guess.
Hmm.
Um, so uh, so that's all that happened. You just went there for, was this the weekend?
Yeah, so we left out on what, Wednesday night. So I was there from
Oh.
uh like Wednesday night till Tuesday night or Monday night.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it was like most of the week.
So how has your reacclimation to San Francisco? Because I know every time you come back, you're always like
Hmm.
extra tired and stuff.
It wasn't as bad this time, actually. Got back last night, got plenty of sleep, went to the gym this morning. And today was like a low-key day at work because it's a Tuesday, so I went into the office, worked a little bit. Me and Shauna had lunch together up there, had went to the ramen spot I really like.
Oh, you have
It was
ramen
good.
today.
For lunch, yeah.
I love ramen.
Same,
I love
same.
ramen.
There's a place out here called Ramen Parlor, and they do like soft shell crab in the ramen. Jared, it's so fucking good.
I hate soft shell crab
Why?
because you have to eat the shell.
But it's a soft shell.
No, I don't like that. I'm not a shark. I'm not a manta ray.
Shut the fuck up. How was your
I don't
previous
like
week,
that.
Jared?
My previous week has been uneventful. There's a lot of applying for jobs.
Oh.
Yesterday, I went on a walkabout because a
Mm.
lot of the, shops are around the same area. So I was like,
Hmm.
I didn't walk on the treadmill today. Why don't I just walk around here? Because it'll be just
Hmm.
like going to the mall. So I went to Bath and Body Works, Best Buy,
Hmm.
Culver's. I got my free Chick-fil-A.
What's Culver's?
Culver's is like this their Midwest store is kind of
Mm.
like a Midwest, like McDonald's or Burger King is popular out there,
Mm.
and they have the best. Uh, they call them like ice drinks, icy drinks. It's like a
Okay.
smoothie that they make with actual fruit. And
Okay.
oh my God, it's so good. You can mix two flavors. I always get a watermelon mango one. It's so good.
Mm.
And their fish sandwich is
Better than McDonald's?
much better. It's like thick, crispy, and melts in your mouth. It is so good.
Mm.
And their fries are really good. Their honey mustard is really good. Their
Oh,
burgers,
they make their own honey mustard?
yeah, they do. And their
Mm.
burgers are really good and they're fresh and made to order. They say the cheese curds are really good, but yeah.
Mm.
So I went to Culver's to get my drink. Then I went to Chick-fil-A to get my free sandwich. And then I crossed the busy intersection to go to Publix to get some
Hmm.
groceries and stuff. So that
Okay.
was a lot of walking. It
Why?
was
How you had got a
hot.
free sandwich from Chick-fil-A?
Um, I don't know. I have the app on my phone. They just sent me one.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
During Pride Month.
it was free. It was free. It was
Mm.
free, and I don't have a job. I would never
Mm.
spend my money on anything in Chick-fil-A, but it was
Okay.
free.
Okay.
Um, Let me see. Then I went to that was a lot of walking. That was
Yeah.
not like the mall. That was not like the mall, like what I thought it was. But actually, like I did not get all the steps I would have on the treadmill. I think that like I was so sore because I was carrying all those candles from Bath and Body Works. And I was like, this is a
Oh, so
lot.
you carried the candles from Bath and Body to Culver's to Publix back home.
Bath and Body to Best Buy to Culver's to Chick-fil-A to Publix. Then I got in the Uber and went back home.
Oh, okay, you got an Uber. Okay, 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 okay. 'Cause I was about to say, if you walked all that shit back home, Jerry, you was out there looking homeless.
Yeah, but no. Um, so that was my yesterday. So trying to get these steps in by any means necessary every day.
No, I'm glad you taking your health seriously.
Well, we're all gonna die soon.
Your fitness.
Sooner or later, we're all gonna die.
Hmm.
I just want to look good in the casket.
I watched the movie Cesar Chavez on the plane on the way back, and it was pretty good. I only got through half of it though, but it was a pretty good movie.
Cesar
Um,
Chavez.
Cesar Chavez. He was a community organizer, activist, social justice person. He was down there with the farm workers in California, because they were like picking grapes and stuff, but they wasn't being paid fairly because they like immigrants, some of them illegal. Um, and so he was like, so he like organized them. They did they, and I only made it to the part of the movie where they did the like a march from somewhere in like South, like San Diego to Sacramento, had like hundreds of people walking,
Hmm.
like the Million Man, the Million Man March, but Latinos.
Well, okay. Are you gonna finish the movie?
Yeah, I mean, if I can find it somewhere, yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish it.
So is that your pick of the week?
Nah, nah, I've been watching something else for my pick of the week.
Well, let's go ahead and put them on to something.
Put
And
me on some.
this
Put me
segment is
on some.
sponsored.
Put me on some. You don't listen to Pilo?
I've never heard of that person.
He a California guy.
Yeah, he must be a local rapper, a little SoundCloud guy.
I mean, he that song was pretty big. Like a couple of last summer, summer before. But you can't if you hang out in like Oakland and stuff, you can't see that man walking the streets.
I mean, you can see
'Cause I remember,
Outkast walking the streets in Atlanta. So
shit, that's the first time anybody done laid eyes on Outkast in years,
no,
especially
I would
together
always see when they were big, like
when
during
they were
Boston
big.
Backpack, I used to see them in the mall. And
When they
now
were,
Andre is performing behind gas stations.
when did they say that?
This was just recently on the Georgia Shade Room or wherever. We've showed
What the
Andre
fuck?
3000 performing at a gas station.
Wow. I did not hear about that.
Yeah, I saw
I
it.
did.
It was like to a real small crowd though.
I mean, because Andre say he ain't for all that no more. He just want to make his music, and if people enjoy it, cool.
Yeah, that's why the crowd was small. But yeah, he was performing and I don't know. It's cool. It was cool.
Was
Um,
he doing the new Blue Sky
yeah, we was doing
album?
the new flute stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because he said he ain't got nothing to say no more.
I mean, he did interviews. He was at the Met Gala.
He said he ain't got nothing like to rap about no more. Is what I mean.
Oh.
Hmm.
All right, Demarcus. So why don't you just tell me all about our great sponsor who sponsors this segment? They
Hmm.
are called Movie Pass. Can you tell them all about
Yeah,
Movie
Movie
Pass, s'il vous
Pass. I can't
plaît?
tell folks about Movie Pass. Movie Pass is a subscription-based service. They're all about making movie going more affordable, more um, accessible for the average person. Uh, once you sign up for your Movie Pass account, you get your Movie Pass card. It is a MasterCard, and you can use it to pay for movie tickets the way you would use any credit card. If you go to the movies one time, the service pays for itself. I guarantee it. And I got a few movies on my list that I need to go see, so I need to go ahead and wake my Movie Pass card up.
What do you want to see?
Mm, I want to see. Shadow Force. But that's probably not in
Shadow
theaters no more.
Force.
Yeah, it was just like a little shoot 'em up movie with black folks, two black leads.
Oh, a
Mm-mm.
34 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 3 on IGN.
I didn't say it was a good movie.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I want to see. Dang, what's coming? Okay, here we go. Coming soon.
Well, not coming soon. You said you want to see things now.
Yeah, but the stuff I want to see is like coming soon.
Oh,
I've
well,
been thinking
never
about
mind. I want
seeing.
to see some coming soon stuff too.
I want to. I think I want to see Karate Kid Legends because we're gonna have Jackie Chan and Daniel Russo.
But that's not in theaters.
It is in theaters.
Oh, okay. All right. So, what are you going to put them on to for this week?
I have been binging a new anime as I do when I go on vacations or when I'm just like not at home um, because I don't like to watch my main anime when I'm not at home. So I've been binging Bye Bye Earth, which is about this human girl who lives on this planet um, of like half beast and beings, I'll say. So like there's like centaurs, there's um, like wolves, like think like Inuyasha, who got like the ears and the tail and stuff. They're like fish people, like mermaids, and all of the demi-humans, have animal folks. They have like some kind of they have different powers. Like the centaurs are like really fast because they part horse. The mermaids can like sing and they can like change between male and female depending on like their thoughts or something like that. Um, and but like they all and all of the people in this world can like grow swords. So like you're born and I guess you're born with a sword and it just and as you grow, depending on like what kind of life you live, the sword grows with you and how you use your sword. But you can also have your sword destroyed and it'll like wither away if you're not able to like fix it. Um so there's a lot of fights in it, but it's definitely like a coming of age story for this like human girl, and she's like trying like looking for like the human tribe because the beast people really treat her like shit because they be calling her featureless because she don't have like no claws or no fur or nothing like that.
Hmm.
Um, but she was raised by like the greatest swordsman in this world, or trained by him at least. Um, and so she like sets out, she becomes like a nomad, which is a thing in the show. And like is looking for the human tribe that she came from.
Hmm. This is called Goodbye Earth or Bye Bye Earth
Uh
or
Bye Bye Earth. Yep.
so. How far did you get? How far did you make it?
I got to episode 8, season 1, episode 8, but there's 2 seasons. I think both seasons have like 10 episodes.
Hmm. And when
Mm-hmm.
was this
Mm-hmm.
made?
I can tell you right now. Give me 2 seconds.
One, two, one,
It is
two.
from, do they not say tell you the year this stuff was made on Crunchyroll? They ain't got no release dates? Guess not. I guess I can't tell you when it was made.
Hmm.
Never mind. I guess I can look it up.
What's
Got
it
the internet
called? Goodbye
everywhere.
Earth.
Bye Bye Earth. It is from 2024, so it's not that old. It's from last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So you always. Never mind. I guess we'll talk about it. But
Hmm.
you. It has a 4 out of 5 on Crunchyroll, but a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. So mixed reviews. DeMarcus, I would like to put them on to a show that I just watched on BBC. This show has also been added to my favorite 2025 TV shows for the Jardo Awards. It
Hmm.
is called Mr. Loverman. It is about,
Mr. Loverman.
yes,
All right.
it is about this grandfather
Mm-hmm.
in this black family who is dealing with some troubles with his wife. They've been together for about like 40 or so years. and
Hmm.
and they're dealing with some trouble. She thinks that he's cheating on her, and he drinks
How
all the
old are
time.
they?
They're like 75.
What? Okay, continue, please.
Yeah. And come to find out, he is cheating on her, but it's not with a woman, it's with a man. Because,
Oh.
yeah, these people, they're from some Caribbean island. I forgot which one. So the
Hmm.
homophobia is there present. And
Hmm.
the wife, of course, is this
That's it,
guy.
boy.
What you call me?
Not you. The man in the, the man in the movie. But technically.
It's a television show.
Oh, in the television show. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Did they say that in the show? Batsy Boy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's a
It's
point
Caribbean.
when it's said, but um, they don't say it all the time because it's mostly a family setting.
And that's like not a family word.
No, that's not even a word for us to say on this podcast, DeMarcus.
Really?
Yes, that's a slur.
Oh, okay. I did not know.
Well, now you do.
Now I learned something. Thank you, Jared. Learning and growing every day.
So what was I saying? Because that totally threw me off. Um,
Jared said, "What you
he,
call me?"
yeah, because I wasn't expecting that. That's weird.
Mm,
Um, so this show is basically about him reconciling with himself,
hmm.
finding out, if he wants to be with his partner, who everybody
Hmm.
knows as their uncle. It's like his kids, his family and friends all know him as the uncle,
Oh,
but he's more than an uncle, and
he's a gunkel.
kinda because he is in well, he's not in the closet. He just can't come out until everybody comes out together. So and he's also from this island, so yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, this show is basically about them finding out, how he's gonna cope, how he's gonna
How
make
he's gonna
it.
come out?
Yeah, how he's gonna come out.
Mm. What's the wife think about all this when she figures out it's a man?
So she doesn't figure out until like the last episode.
Oh, okay, boo.
Yeah. That is what this show is all about. Not, it's about this guy finding out about himself. And of course
Hmm.
his partner wants to take their relationship to the next level. And he's talking about marriage and he brings up Boy George and
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
yeah,
The guy, okay.
yeah.
But he's already married.
No, no, his partner.
Yeah, but I'm saying the guy who the show's about, he's already married, right?
Yeah, he's already married.
Damn. Jared, do you think like I know the politically correct answer is like it's never too late to find yourself. But do you think there's like a cap? It's like, hey, bro, you got one foot in the grave. Stay the course.
No, it's never too
No?
late.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
you said like the politically correct answer. Dorcas, that's the correct answer. You can't tell people how to live their lives.
You're right. You're right.
So what
But
do
that
you
is also,
think?
I mean, hmm.
And
I
don't be
feel like
politically correct. Be
I
homophobic with all
feel
your chest.
I'm not homophobic. I'm not homophobic. I just think like 75 is like really old to be just now figuring out that you're gay and just now giving it a shot.
But he wasn't just not figuring out. Like he had been in this relationship with this other man for years and years and years. He
Oh,
he had actually known.
okay. I thought that he had just discovered this man at like 75.
Nope.
Hmm. Okay,
He
so he's
had
been living a double
known he was.
life.
Yeah, yeah. He knew he was gay before he was with his partner.
Damn, I hate that for him.
Yeah.
Because like I just imagine it like, well, this is me assuming, and this is probably a bad assumption, but like at 75, if you're taking dick for the first time, that shit can give you a heart attack. I hear it hurts a lot the first time.
Okay, Demarcus, since you're trying to be funny about gay people.
I'm not being, I'm not trying to be funny about gay people. But it's just old age, man. It's a motherfucker.
All right. All right. Do you have an activity for us today?
You know I do, Jared. You know I
Okay.
have an activity. The question is, do you want to play the activity? Is that what you want to do with yourself today?
Sure.
Cool, great. That's all I need. All I
Sure,
needed
I
was
can play.
because consent is important on Black Geek Energy.
Really?
All right,
Oh,
Jared.
I got a job.
Jared, man, you should have started. You should have led with that.
Yeah, I just now remembered. I got a job, but it's another one of those. I got a
Shady ass
job, but it's
jobs.
another one of those things where I was hired at the end of my interview and he started asking me questions to um, help his company.
Mm,
And he said that HR would contact me tomorrow. They are in
mm,
India. Um,
mm,
but it's a AI company
mm,
and they do video and image generation.
mm.
So yeah, that happened as well. But
When
again,
did you get when did you get that job?
today, like a
Oh,
couple of hours ago.
okay. Well,
Hold on,
congratulations,
hold
Jared.
on. I haven't signed anything. I haven't gone to any meeting. I haven't done anything. But
Hmm.
so I don't even know if I really have a job. I don't even know how this job is going to be. This may be another job that I leave in a month. So hold your applause. Let me be in this job for another month.
I
Still,
mean, let's celebrate the small wins, man.
well,
But let's celebrate along the way.
whatever. I am I mean it's just I do have a job now, so hope
Hmm.
according to him I have a job now, but there are some other things still in the works.
Mm. Like, how you gonna get paid?
No, like other positions that I've interviewed for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like what? Do you feel comfortable sharing the companies?
No, not at this moment. Just know I had
Mm.
like two interviews with one, three interviews with
Mm.
another, and
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want those more than you want this one?
Yeah, because those are full time and then this is part time. But the pay is supposed to be really good.
Mm.
The pay is
Okay.
extremely well. Like I'm only there for 4 hours, but the pay is
Hmm.
like 8 hour
8 hour
pay.
pay?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I'll take
Mhm.
same pay to do half the work.
Yeah.
Okay. The activity. So for those people who are joining us, the way these games and activities work on Black Geek Energy, I am the curator and the executioner of all these games. I am the judge, jury, and the killer, the bailiff,
What?
the.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
But I already said executioner, so I needed a different word. But
Okay.
anyway, I come up with the questions, I come up with the answers, I decide who's right, who's wrong, and who wins and who loses.
And
In today's
usually I'm not
game,
right in DeMarcus's word
untrue,
world.
untrue, untrue, untrue. Today's game is called the Science Man Roundup. I just made that up.
Okay.
So I am going to read to you a scientific accomplishment from the Marvel Universe, and you are going to tell me
Oh,
who accomplished said scientific accomplishment.
okay.
Yeah, sounds pretty easy. I think it's so because like these as I was doing my research on this, the scientists in Marvel are like very specialized. Like they do very different things.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this should be pretty easy.
It should be, but you know how you
And
are.
and as I've been trying to do for the past few games, the questions get harder as we go along. So questions 1 through 3 should be like super easy.
Should be, but
Should be. All right. Are you ready, Jared?
yes.
All right, number one. Who built a bleeding edge exosuit that integrates directly with his brain and upgrades itself mid-fight?
Upgrades itself mid-flight.
Mid-fight, mid-fight.
Who built a bleeding edge exosuit
Hmm. That integrates directly with his brain and upgrades itself mid-fight
in the Marvel universe?
in the Marvel universe.
Tony Stark has so many exosuits, so
Hmm.
it's could be his um the silver exosuit, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure. And that's
Hmm.
the only person I know who builds exosuits,
I mean, Riri also builds exosuits.
but they don't upgrade itself mid-fight.
Hmm.
Uh, are they
Doom
ter-
also builds suits.
okay? Are they terrestrial?
You supposed to give me answers. I'm asking the questions around here, big dog.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say Tony.
That is correct. Uh, number two.
No, 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 no. Which suit is this?
This was this was the extremist suit, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's what I thought. It had to be the
Hmm.
extremist suit. That's the
Hmm.
silver
Hmm.
one. Okay.
The one that. Okay, cool. All right. Who designed multiple sentient AIs with charm, sass, and the ability to run global defense systems?
Charm and sass,
Charm and sass.
multiple defense AIs.
Multiple sentient AIs.
Of course, Pym is known for his sentient AI. Um, I don't, I don't know. I mean, he has sass but no charm. Um, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna say Pym. That's who comes up, Hank Pym.
Hmm.
He probably isn't though.
No, that was another Tony Stark. Because as far
Tony,
as I
wait, you
know,
already said Tony Stark.
I mean, I didn't, I never said
Oh God.
that only one
Okay.
person, I never said I wouldn't read you the answers. I never said that.
All right. Well, technically, I got that one right too, because you're adding in stuff that you didn't say.
Well, very technically, you got it wrong because you gave me an
Well,
answer and that was not
and
the correct
very
answer.
technically,
So
I
number
did get
three.
it right. So,
So number three. Who created a vibranium suit that absorbs kinetic energy from attacks and sends it back like a shockwave?
I don't know this one. I do know it's a
Mm.
Wakandian scientist.
Mm.
That person would have made the suit pre T'Challa. So it's not Shuri, it's not T'Challa because his dad also
Mm.
had the same suit.
But did it
Um,
work the same way?
yeah, because it's vibranium. All vibranium takes in kinetic energy and sends it back out.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that I don't know that scientist.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm just gonna say in the movie, Shuri worked on the suit a lot, so I will say Shuri, but it's not
Okay.
her.
It is actually T'Challa.
It's definitely not T'Challa.
And as evidence from the T'Challa run, the T'Challa runs from 2016, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
No, that's false.
No,
Cause
that's.
no, because that's what vibranium does at its core.
Hmm. Sure.
So how can he build a suit when they have all been wearing suits all in the past that are vibranium?
He built his own suit.
And so that, like you said, invented.
I said, who created a vibranium suit that absorbs kinetic energy? Not invented, who created?
Oh my God. DeMarcus, see, all of these things are technicalities. that you are making. So it wasn't him. He didn't
He did
create
not
that
invent
process.
it, sure,
And he
sure.
did
He
not
didn't
create
invent
that
it,
process.
but he made his own suit. Because
Well,
that
he
was the
didn't
question.
create
Who
that
created
process.
A, not D, A, vibranium suit?
Okay, well, that's another technicality that I got right.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. So now
All
I'm
right.
four for
Number
four
four.
or three
Number
for three.
four. Ooh, am I in the right place? Okay, number four. All right. Who
And
brewed
T'Challa
a
is not that smart.
who brewed a serum to enhance his strength and agility, but turned himself blue and furry in the process?
That's Hank McCoy.
That is Hank McCoy, indeed. All right. Who built a portal to an antimatter dimension that's so dangerous he had to invent a way to tether his atoms?
To tether his atoms,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Pym, Hank Pym.
Mm. That one was Reed Richards.
I was thinking Reed. So when did Reed tether his atoms and how?
Um, Let me go back
Because
to
I don't know nothing about
find,
that.
let me go find the reasoning. I don't know that one. Yeah, so this is when he invented the portal to the negative zone. He
Hmm.
had to also invent a way to tether his atoms, or else he would be like pulled apart or
Mm.
something. Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep, yep. All right, number five.
Hmm.
All right. Who invented one of Marvel's earliest functional time machines just to prove he could outsmart a rival?
Doom.
Yes, that was Dr. Doom. Correct, Jared. Another one.
Oh,
Number
okay.
six. Who isolated the X gene, becoming one of the first to truly understand what makes a mutant a mutant?
Sinister.
Mm, are you sure?
I'm positive it wasn't
Mm.
Professor Xavier.
It was Hank McCoy. It was Beast.
No. Sinister
Hmm.
did that long before he was born. Sinister was in the Nazi war camps with his X gene studies.
But we didn't find out about Sinister until after we knew about Beast.
You, but that doesn't, no, that doesn't negate Sinister's history. That doesn't negate Sinister's history. He is a Victorian age villain, and he was doing these days in the Victorian age. So Mr. Sinister uh, isolated the X gene.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying he was not the correct answer to question number six.
But he was the first person to isolate the
It,
X gene.
it said it didn't say first. One of the first,
And he was the first. So just because I didn't give you Hank McCoy doesn't mean that I gave you the wrong answer.
as we stated at the beginning of this and every other
And see,
trivia
this
game.
is why, DeMarcus, all this stuff is not fair. That was Mr. Sinister, and your ChatGPT answers aren't doing this right.
Anyway, number seven.
So I got that one right.
Number seven. You're at four, I think. You're at
No,
four right
I'm
so
at
far.
six because I got Sinister right. I got all of them right so far.
Anyway, who constructed a machine that lets him watch alternate realities like a multiversal Netflix?
I think this was Reed.
That is correct. It was Reed Richards.
Uh,
All right, coming down to the wire.
I've
I
gotten
think that was
every
number.
one of these right though, so
No, no, you haven't.
it's not really coming down to the wire. It's coming down to the end because I've been getting all these
Coming
right.
down to the wire.
Well,
Living to the wire.
that's not correct.
Okay. Um, so that was actually question number eight. This is number, I'm giving you number nine now.
Hmm.
Who blended arcane sorcery with cutting edge tech to create his signature armor and an army of robotic clones.
Doom again.
That is Doom. All right.
Like,
Well, Mike.
no, I'll wait to the end.
Okay. Who built a working communicator from scratch using only alien tech while marooned light years from Earth?
Is this Reed again?
This one is T'Challa in his intergalactic empire of Wakanda days.
Okay. T'Challa's not that smart. DeMarcus, with this thing, you and he did because he was just stranded on some other galaxy where he had to contact somebody else. And this is the story where the Human Torch had sex with an alien. So
Oh,
Reed did construct a uh communicator using alien technology. So technically, I got that one right.
I wouldn't say so, but okay.
I got
But
that one right.
you are still the winner of this game. You got most of
No,
them right. You
I got
definitely cleared
nine.
the
I got
seven.
9 out of 10.
You definitely cleared the seven threshold that we
We,
have placed on these trivia games.
yeah, by
Um,
9. I got one
no,
wrong.
no, Jen, no, you did not.
And DeMarcus, there are
Which
so
one did you get
many.
wrong?
I don't know. I don't really be paying attention.
That's what I thought, and that's why you be getting them wrong. That's what you get so because you don't take me seriously. I'm a joke to you, and I don't know why I'm here. Matter of fact, bye.
No, but DeMarcus, there's so many black scientists. You didn't say one about um Goliath. You didn't say one about what's my man in the sea, the Blue Marvel.
My
Like
man
there
in
are
the sea.
so many,
There are a lot of black
but
scientists.
and you reuse
But I wanted to stick to the top scientists in the Marvel universe.
so Moon Girl. Why didn't you say her?
Is
She
she one of
is
the
the
tops?
most intelligent person in the 616,
Is she one of the top
according
scientists?
to Mark. Yes,
Most intelligent, most
she is.
intelligent.
She is
But
the best,
what has she done?
according to the 616. She is the best scientist in the Marvel universe, and that's canon. So why did you include her?
Because
See,
I don't like Moon Girl.
ChatGPT. So then you weren't trying to include the top. You were just trying to include the top white people.
T'Challa is black.
Well, T'Challa didn't do all that stuff because T'Challa's not that smart.
You just don't like T'Challa.
Well, I don't. We're gonna have an episode
Okay
on him
then.
later.
Okay.
But on today's episode, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think that what we need to do
Mm-hmm.
is just go down the Illuminati and
Mm.
say how all those people are really bad people.
Well, we've
Um,
already done Professor X. With that being said, would you say that the Cabal is better than the Illuminati?
Most
Are
definitely.
better people?
Most definitely. Because
Mm.
Doom was on the Cabal, the
Mm-hmm.
Hood, White Queen.
Mm-hmm. Emma Frost.
Yeah, these
Mm-hmm.
people, they will let you know.
Evil Beast was in the Cabal, wasn't he?
I don't think so. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Um, but Namor was in it. Namor
Namor
was
was
in
in
both.
both.
Yeah. So the Cabal will let you know their intentions at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not really a secret.
Mm-hmm.
The Illuminati has hidden motives and they try to play games and they try to they're more secretive than the Cabal. So yeah,
Mm.
I would prefer the Cabal than the
So
Illuminati.
you rather they just tell you like, hey, we're gonna blow up your city, and then they do it rather than like, hey, we're gonna try to save your city and then accidentally blow it up.
Yeah. Or say that they're trying to save my city, but then not save my city. Or not have any intentions to save my city at all.
Mm.
So yeah. Anyways, we're going to talk about one of the most horrible people in
I don't
in
think
the
he's that
Marvel
horrible of a
universe.
person.
Well, you may change your opinion after this episode because you didn't think that Professor X was that horrible.
I did not.
So that might change. And I'm just
Hmm.
gonna be straight up with you. Um, he's not that great. And I really don't know why people cape for him so hard He's not the
Mm-hmm.
best person in the Fantastic Four. Reed
Mm-hmm.
does have the best powers in the Fantastic Four,
You
and
say he does or he does not?
he does not. He
Okay.
does not.
Because
And
I
he,
was gonna be like, no, he does not.
yeah, and
It's
he
obviously Johnny
is,
Storm.
and Sue.
Sue's cool too.
Sue has better powers than Reed.
Yes, 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 she does.
Right. Just as long as we both understand that. But yeah, he is really the most, I would say, the most dastardly person in the Marvel universe because you don't know what he's really thinking. And he loves science more than he loves his family. He if you put science and his family in two cups beside him and in front of him and you said drink one cup and the other one's gone forever, he would pick science and his intelligence before he picked Franklin and Valeria
Because
in
if
a
he chooses
heartbeat.
science, he could find a way to bring them back.
No, he wouldn't because he's not that smart. Because
Yes,
in
he
all of his
is.
years, has he ever made that thing turn back into human?
Yes, in the movie.
Oh, Demarcus, the movies aren't even canon anymore, and you know I don't talk about the movies. So no, he has never even cured Ben Grimm of his affliction that he caused. So no, we're gonna talk
How did he
about
cause it?
he caused it by making them steal the spaceship from the government because the government told him not to go up
Mm.
there. They told him don't go up there, but he has some science to prove, and he went up there
He had some, he had some science to prove.
because he likes science more than his family. He
He
likes
was trying to
science more than
protect the
his
Earth
family.
from a
He
solar
wasn't trying to
flare.
protect Earth. He was trying to protect Earth. He was trying to conduct some research. That's all the only reason why he
For the
wanted to go up
betterment of
there.
mankind, Jared.
And the government told him not to go up there. The government was like, "Don't do it." He did it, and then look
Nobody
at
listens to the
what
government. The government are all liars and deceivers.
but they told him not to do something. So
So,
he stole a spaceship from the government, took it up into outer space, afflicted Benjamin Graham with his affliction, and then he could not cure him of it. So
well, Ben
no,
Grimm, at a certain point, Ben Grimm said he didn't want to change back no more. He said, I'm the
Ben
thing now.
Grimm
This is
has
my life.
never said he didn't want to change anymore. Ben Grimm has always wanted to change back. That's
Really?
been Ben Grimm's thing the whole time.
He still want to change back?
Well, now Doom's done it.
Mm.
So he's
So,
changed.
so Ben Grimm can go back and forth between being the thing and Ben.
I don't think he can go back and forth, but
See, I feel like once you make me a superhero, you can't just take it away.
Ben
Once you
didn't
give
want to
me,
be a superhero.
mm, fair enough.
But yeah, he led the Fantastic Four space mission without the proper safety protocols and
Hmm.
stealing that rocket was recklessly exposing them to the cosmic rays.
And
So
made them all heroes.
no, and we can talk about
Hmm.
that too. He told Valeria that reason why he started to brand him as Fantastic Four, the reason why his name is Fantastic, is because he saw the things that were going along with the mutants and he didn't
Hmm.
want to be that. So that's why he started branding them as this family type of protectors because he
Mm.
didn't want his family to be under the scrutiny that the mutants were under.
Hmm. I mean, well, also they're not mutants, so he didn't want to like confuse the issue. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah, but you have to
that's
also
like
think
that's
that.
like that's like Rachel Dolezal going around saying she black, and then it come out that she's not black. I was like, you ain't one of us.
But then you also have to say that, he's in New York. And who is the number one superhero in New York that was constantly getting ridiculed in the newspaper?
Spider-Man.
Exactly. So he sees that every day. He sees him helping people every day. And he's like, well, now my family has powers. I got to brand him differently. Hmm.
I don't see why that's a tick in the bad column. I don't.
Because it's a tick in the bad column because he's not that great. He's always thinking about ways to maneuver around the human consciousness instead of
Hmm.
just doing the things that he needs to do. He's not that great.
So it's a tick in the bad column because you think he's a bad person?
Yes, he is a bad person. This is not what I think. These are facts. And I'm trying to tell you some facts right now, DeMarcus.
I'm listening, Jared. I'm listening. And as of yet, I remain unconvinced. So
Okay.
far, it is a very smart man who has made very smart mistakes.
Okay. So let's talk about the smart mistake he made after Krakoa. Let's talk about how Franklin wanted to know about his mutant friends and go
Mm,
to Krakoa,
hmm.
and Reed said no. And what Reed did was he shut down the X gene that was in his own son without telling him. And the Professor
Where
X had to read his mind to find out that he did that. How is that love?
where did Franklin get an X gene from?
Franklin's always been a mutant. Franklin's the most
Oh,
powerful mutant.
so he was just born a mutant, just like
Yeah.
randomly. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. He's always been a mutant.
That's how it happens. That's how mutants are born.
Exactly.
And it's just crazy to be like, oh, your family has powers and you're born a mutant.
You didn't know
Um,
Franklin was a mutant?
I mean, I had heard it before. I knew it. I just, I wanted to be on pod.
Okay.
Uh, but he was just trying to protect his son.
No, that's not how you protect your son. You don't protect your son by pulling him from the most invaded city in the 616. You don't say, well, you can't go to the most protected island in the world because I
But
don't want you around those people. I don't want you
is
around
that what he said? Were
mutants.
those his words?
No, those weren't his words. I don't know what his exact words were. I just know that he shut down the X gene because he did not want Franklin to be around those mutants. He didn't want Franklin to know his heritage, and he didn't want Franklin to be a part of the mutant community.
I mean, there are plenty of like human parents who don't want that for their children, and if they had the ability, they would do the same. And
Well,
I
and
don't
it's
think that.
wrong all around. Just because so A, B, and C does it doesn't mean when D does it, it's right. It's wrong for the whole alphabet. It's wrong, DeMarcus. It's wrong to shut down your 16-year-old son's mutant ability or 15 or something that
Hmm.
he was a baby that you exploited when he had to make those universes with
When
Molecule Man.
he had to remake the universe of Molecule Man. Yep.
Exactly. After
Hmm.
the incursions that you caused, and
That wasn't
and
on him alone.
we can get to it. So it's not fair for him to shut down that part of him to make him not be able to experience his heritage because you don't like mutants, because you see the
Oh,
mutants being persecuted by orchids and you don't want to say anything because you want to be Mr. Fantastic. That's not right.
it sounds like he didn't want his son to be a part of the mutant brigade because he saw how the mutants were persecuted, and he's like, I don't want that for my son.
But he
I don't want
also
my. Hold on now, let me talk. He was like, I don't want that for my son. I don't want Franklin to be on Krakoa when the shit eventually hits the fan because it always does. Because even though I might not care about mutants, the world hates mutants.
he knew his son was a mutant and he did nothing to stop the hatred of mutant. He didn't try to stop the Sentinels. He didn't try to stop Orcus. He didn't try to stop anything in the government. He let it continue while his son was an active mutant in the mutant community, even though he couldn't go to them. So just by saying, oh, just by Franklin being able to go to Krakoa, go there once, tell his father how it was, and then his father stick it to his bedroom at night and shut it down,
Hmm.
that's not right. That isn't right. And that's all I'm saying. Just because
Okay.
he is fearful of the hate that goes on with mutants, he also did not use his privilege as a superhero in the
A white
community, as
superhero.
a white superhero, as a leader in science, as a person who could talk to anybody, the defeater of Galactus. He did not use none of his privilege to stop any of that hate. And he never has used his privilege. So him shutting down his mutant heritage tells a lot about him. And I can't believe that you're defending him right now.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying to me that it sounds like he's just trying to protect his son. That's all I'm saying.
Protect That's not how you protect your son. You don't
You
protect
don't.
your
I don't
son
have
by shutting
kids.
down who they are.
I don't have kids, so I can't really say.
DeMarcus, okay, well, let's pretend. DeMarcus, in this real world example, with your kids, knowing everything that Black people go through, if you could shut off the Black in your son's melanin, would you shut it down?
Wow, shut down the melanin in my black son. Um, I would not. 34-year-old Demarcus would not.
Mm.
But if you had you been asking this question to what 14 or maybe not 14, but maybe like 12, 10-year-old Demarcus, maybe
So you would not as an adult.
I would not. I would not.
Okay, okay. So you see how that is racist to even think you to do something like that.
I can understand the parent who does. I can I
Oh,
can I can
okay.
I can empathize with the parent who does feel that way.
That's very interesting that you say that as a person who can empathize to racism. That's very
That's not. I mean, that's not what
interesting.
I'm saying. I'm
That
saying I
is
can
what you're
empathize.
saying. That
I'm
is what you're
saying I.
saying because
I'm
he
saying
is
I can
being a
empathize with
racist.
the. I can empathize with the parent who goes to the extremes to protect their children. Not
Instead
having
of
any kids. Not having any kids of my own.
trying to help the actual cause,
I
instead of
mean,
trying to
you
help
can't
the
stop
actual
hate.
racism.
You I'm not, I alone am not going to be able to change. If we use this real world example, if we stick to that, I alone am not going to be able to change the entire, white diaspora's mind about black people and get the government off our ass. That's not, that's not within my control. I can't control that.
No, but as a white superhero in the Marvel universe, he has some say. He has say
Does
just like Captain
he?
America does. He
Does
has some say,
he?
and Captain
Because
America
they
is
don't give
the
a fuck what
only
Captain America
person.
say. Because as soon as Captain America was like, "Oh, like, y'all treating people wrong. The government ain't doing right." They branded him a criminal too.
You can't brand Captain America a criminal for
They
long.
definitely did. Oh, for
No,
long. Okay, I'm glad you added that qualifier.
no. And Captain America, he is Marvel's golden boy, and Mr. Fantastic is too. But he has never used his powers for good, his status for good,
Mm.
or his privilege for good. That's what I'm saying.
All
And
right, what's the next point?
it just concerns me that you are defending racism right now.
I'm not
Um,
defending racism.
you are defending racism. That's what that is.
Here,
It's
let's move on to the
racism.
next point. Let's move on to the next point.
So a lot of this stuff happened during the Civil War. A lot of these examples, like he actually built a, and it's funny that you should say about his needing to build something to keep his atoms together or whatever in the negative zone. He built
Mm-hmm.
a whole secret prison in the negative zone for both
Mm-hmm.
superheroes and supervillains. Something
Mm-hmm.
that was torturous just by being there. He built
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
place. Um, um,
And who he stuck in it?
well, he stuck a lot of people in it. It was called Project 42. It's a legal prison in the antimatter dimension of the negative zone. Um, the prison's remote negative zone location meant that detainees were held in a hostile environment and essentially erased from Earth, which constituted a major ethical breach. It doesn't say who all was in there. Oh,
Mm.
Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger, among others.
Wow. Daredevil,
Yes, like people who
Cloak
were
and
on
Dagger.
because
Those are
he,
just kids.
but he sided with Tony's side on the Marvel Superhero Registration Act. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing
And
that he
is
was
that what
doing.
is that where the prison came from? The when he sided with Tony for the
Yeah,
Superhero Registration Act? Mm.
yeah.
I mean, he didn't listen to the government before, and now he's listening to the government. I thought the government was good, Jared. I thought you were all about, you know.
DeMarcus, I'm about following the rules, unless the rules don't need to be followed. Stealing a
Mm,
spaceship? How is
mm,
stealing a spaceship a rule that needs to be followed?
mm.
Exactly. During
That
this time, he also made a clone of Thor, an illegal
I remember
clone of
that.
Thor. And this
Was it
this
illegal or was it government sanctioned?
now you're trying to be funny.
No, I'm not being funny. It was government sanctioned.
It
The
was
government said
something
make a clone of Thor because we don't because Thor was on Captain America's side,
it
and the
was
government was like,
something
we need a Thor, make us a Thor.
it was something that Thor did not sign off on. It was something that Thor was not a part of. It was a conversation that Thor wasn't right. And to make a clone of Thor without Thor's consent is wrong. That's what
Hmm.
I'm trying to say here.
Mm.
So when he made this thing, this person killed another great
He
scientist
killed
of the
he
Marvel
killed Goliath.
universe. Yeah, a black scientist. Oh, let me guess why he would kill a black scientist because Reed Richards is also racist.
I
And I said it first. He doesn't like
I don't
mutants.
think
He
Reed
don't like
Richards is
black people.
racist. I think he's I think he's a government stooge.
No, no. Tell me why. Tell me why
I
he's not
think he's
racist.
sucking on the sack, and the government may be racist. So you know,
Well, no, 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 no. You say he's not racist, but everything I said so far means that he's racist. He's racist against mutants. He's racist against anybody who doesn't have that white privilege, and he showed that by killing Bill Foster. He doesn't talk to any black people outside of his coworkers. He don't have no black friends. He don't go to the black neighborhoods.
well, T'Challa did fuck his wife, so
Okay, there's still other black people. The Falcon, and yeah, yeah, he doesn't really talk to anybody that's black ever,
Mm.
ever. So yeah, I did think that he was racist before this, but I'm beginning to think that Reed Richards may be just a little bit racist.
I think you're painting the picture in a very certain way, Jared.
There's only one way you can paint a picture when
There's many
the
ways to take a
facts is
picture.
all there. The facts is all
Let's
there.
what else you got? What else you got?
Um, I'm scrolling down. Oh. During Jonathan Hickman's incursion crisis, Reed took extreme measures to avert the end of the world, including betraying one of his own. When Captain America joined the Illuminati, he staunchly opposed their proposal of destroying entire worlds to stop reality collisions. In response, Reed voted to remove Cap from the group and had Doctor Strange wipe Steve Rogers' memory. Again, doing things without their consent. This
Wait,
clandestine,
you say he voted though, so that means there was a majority ruling to remove Captain America?
it wasn't that much of a majority. It's just like three people.
I mean, the Illuminati is seven people total. So if Captain America is like can't vote because he's the subject of the vote,
So tell me, are Nazis not criminals because they were just following orders? Like what are you trying to say?
I think that's a very sticky wicket.
A very sticky wicked
A very sticky wicket.
Demarcus. It's not like even if it was a vote, he voted wrong.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of folks that voted to not end slavery in
Demarcus.
Congress back in the day. And I would agree, they voted wrong.
To not end slavery.
Yeah,
So
like back in like 1860, whenever Abraham was doing all that stuff. Yeah,
and so you didn't want slavery to end.
I did. That's not what I said, Jared. Stop twisting my words.
I'm just saying,
And I'm
okay.
just telling you.
The fallout was devastating. Cap felt deeply betrayed by Reed, leading to an intense confrontation where Reed dismantled the Avengers' unity and pursued the Illuminati as fugitives. So this vote led to the end of the Illuminati as we all know it.
Hmm.
So yeah, he did something else without their consent, making clones of Thor, who he has fought alongside of for centuries, wiping Steve Rogers' memory, who is the best Marvel superhero, and that's canon. He loves doing things without their consent, taking his son's X gene out of his body and making him a flat scan, all out of his consent.
Isn't that a slur?
It's fiction, DeMarcus. Perhaps
Oh,
the
come on,
darkest,
Jared.
perhaps the darkest scenario is when Reed Richards, um, perhaps the darkest scenario Reed Richards ever contemplated was the deliberate destruction of an inhabitable world as universe collided during the incursion saga, reconstructed planet-killing antimatter devices as his last resort to save Earth 616. He knew
Mm.
that if an alternate Earth threatened to crash in his zone, he might have to annihilate that entire reality's population to protect this universe. So yeah, he was just thinking about mass genocide.
Yeah. And but it did pain him though. He was like, yo, this is horrible, but I gotta save mine. I gotta protect mine.
Mm,
He
you
felt bad
know,
about it.
just because you feel bad about something doesn't mean that it's horrible, Demarcus.
Does it make it less horrible? You're right. You're right. You're right. You know, he was put in an impossible situation.
Mm.
I cannot imagine myself being in that situation. There's another Earth colliding with the Earth that I live on, and it's like, look, destroy it now, or both Earths get destroyed. What decision would you make?
I mean,
The
I'm an
incursion.
evil person.
So you would do the same thing with no remorse.
Um, I don't know. I would have to weigh
Mhm.
the different things. Um, but yeah, Reed is just a bad person,
Mm.
and it really uh pains me that you are defending him like this.
I'm not defending them. I'm simply offering perspective.
Hmm. And so let me go back to that perspective. You think that Reed loves his family more than science?
That's not what I said.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking.
Mm. Um, I think that Reed is a scientist and who has committed his life to science, and he has to balance that with having a family, as most men do, who are, who excel in their fields. They often have to balance their work with their family.
So, I mean, that was a non answer. So, again, just yes or no. Do you think that Reed would forego his family in the pursuit of science?
No, I think that Reed would use science for the betterment of his family.
Reed's obsession with solving all the world's problems once led him to secretly convene with the Council of Reeds in Jonathan Hickman's run, a gathering of alternate universe Reed Richards who had each sacrificed their personal lives to pursue cosmic solving problems. In the Solved Everything storyline, 616 Reed built a dimension bridging machine without telling his family.
Hmm.
And he was tempted to join this council of genius counterparts. The other Reeds offered vast knowledge and power, but there was a terrible price. None of them kept their families, having deemed loved ones a distraction. Upon learning that his variants gave up Sue, Franklin, and Valeria in pursuit of cold knowledge, he was shaken. He realized how easily he might lose his own family and
Hmm.
humanity and immediately rejected the council's path, reaffirming that mind without heart means nothing. Still, the very fact that Reed operated in secrecy from his family and considered abandoning his family is regarded as a grave mistake. It caused significant strain with Sue, who discovered his clandestine project and demonstrated how Reed's single minded drive can lead him to neglect and manipulate his loved ones, requiring dramatic intervention to bring him back to his senses.
So what I heard from that story is that given the choice, given the actual very real as we can call comic books and stuff, all these things that we enjoy, given the actual choice between family and ultimate cosmic science, Reed chose his family.
Yeah, he
So
chose
that
his family.
I think that tidbit you should have left that one out. That one disproves your
No,
case.
no, 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 no. It proves my point because he chose his family, but he also,
Excuse me.
with Sue, he he did not tell Sue what he was doing. Sue had to discover it on his own, and
Hmm.
he neglected and manipulated his loved ones. Like you don't remember that Fantastic Four run when the Fantastic Four was dying, and Reed didn't tell them. That was the whole thing. You don't
Oh, when they
remember.
had that I feel like I know what you're talking about. They had something inside them, didn't they?
It was the cosmic radiation from the thing.
Okay, no, I don't remember that one. No, I don't remember that
But
run.
but yeah, like he does that all the time. There will be something going on with his family, or there will be something he has to do. He won't tell his family about the affliction causing them or how to solve things. He will just
Hmm.
go about and do it again without their consent.
So yeah,
Because you know that something is about to kill them.
he is a very smart man with some very distinct flaws. One of which being that he thinks he has to do everything alone. And that and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that he doesn't want to like cause his family undue panic and stress by telling them these things. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It just, it's not the best method.
So you don't think it's a bad thing when the Fantastic Four is supposed to be Marvel's premier superhero team.
Hmm. What do you mean? What's up? You say I don't think it's a bad thing that there's going to be Marvel's superhero team, premier superhero team.
Yeah, so you don't think that this team has to work together? You don't think that this team is supposed to be on one accord
Oh yeah,
only
I think they
when
should be. I think
but
it should
but you're
be.
making
And but
concessions
like
for
I
Reed
said,
right now.
I said he has flaws, and one of his flaws is that he feels like he has to do everything alone, even though he's on his thing on this team, and we can see the detriment that that causes.
Well,
Does that make him an evil man?
yes.
Does that does that make him the maker? I don't think so.
The maker is the best thing to happen to Reed.
I don't think so.
Because it's Reed without a family, how Reed needs to be. Because Reed doesn't want his family. If Reed's
Reed does want
family,
his family,
no, he doesn't. No, he
in
doesn't.
all of these examples, the through line that I see is that Reed chooses his family. He does these things. He uses science for the betterment of his family. He used science to stop him from dying when that thing was happening. He chose his family over phenomenal cosmic power. He chooses his family every time.
No, I think that Reed is more concerned with branding. If he knew that his family wasn't, if he knew that Fantastic Four weren't the four, if he knew that his family was hurt, if he knew that he couldn't abandon, he knew he can't abandon his family, have the same perception in the public. So I don't think that Reed cares about his family that much. I think he cares about branding because
I
that's
think we
why
need to get
Reed.
Reed Richards on
No,
the
no, no.
show.
That's why he told Valeria he wanted his name to be Mr. Fantastic and for them to be the Fantastic Four.
For
Because he could
branding.
just spend, yes, for branding so that they
I
would
mean,
not
Mr. Fantastic
associate
does
them with
is
the
a better name
mutants.
than Reed Richards, the stretchy guy,
But he did it so they wouldn't associate them with mutants, with other
because they're
superpowered
not
people,
mutants. Because they're not mutants,
and with other superpowered people like Spider Man.
and they're not the other superpower people. They are. He wanted to make them distinct from the other. superpower people in the game.
And he wanted to
Like when
make
you
them
go on the
better
bread
as
aisle,
far as their name.
when
So
you go on
he
the bread
came up with
aisle,
that
listen to me,
branding.
Jared. Listen to me, Jared. When you go on the bread aisle, every bread isn't called Sunbeam bread. Every bread isn't called Nature's Own bread. Each bread has its own branding because they want to be different from all the other breads on the aisle.
But he wants to be different to be better than. He doesn't want to be the same. He doesn't want to fight for
Sure.
justice. He wants to fight for
Whoa.
science. And he doesn't care about his family.
He
That's what
wants to
I'm
use science
saying.
for justice. He wants to use
No,
science to in the pursuit of justice, in the pursuit of good for all mankind.
he wants to use science for the pursuit of Reed
And
Richards' mankind to get some patents.
what I will concede is that the road to hell is often paved with good intentions, and I think that is what we see over and over again with Reed Richards. Has he learned his lesson? No. Is he going to keep trying to doing good? Absolutely. Is he
Mm,
going to keep making mistakes? Yes, he's a human.
mm. Well, I think that he is not going to do any of that because he's a horrible man. But
Okay. Well, let's. You got a question? I got
do
it.
we have questions for today? Do you have a question?
I do not. I really
Well,
have to go
we
to
can
the
do
bathroom.
one. Okay, so six brown chicks. This is where we take questions from our good friends from Six Brown Chicks Twitter. I read the first sentence, and then Demarcus will tell me which one he wants. You look so dark. Ugly. And which one he wants, and we will discuss that. So, Six Brown Chicks, I'm also going to give you another choice, Demarcus. Do you want to go to the oldest ones that I have from 2024 or the newest ones that I have?
Let's go with the oldest ones.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you four choices. You tell me which one you want.
Hmm.
Fun facts. Southern men have bigger nut sacks like me. We carry more semen and we smell differently. My
Was the like you part
no,
personal, or was it that was
that's
in the thing? Okay.
that's in I would never, Demarcus. Please have some cool.
Jesus, Jared.
Have some cool.
Jesus, Jared.
Have cool. Number two, my baby was born with an extra finger on her left hand. Oh, I think we did that one.
We've done that one, yeah.
So that's not two. Number two, my manager sent a Teams meeting invite to our entire team, and I knew what that S meant.
Mm.
Number three, my wife and sister in law have been hanging out with our two female neighbors, Pat and Judy, and they're into some shady stuff.
Mm.
Or number four, I'm a city girl who wanted a southern wedding.
Let's do number three, the shady stuff. I want to hear the shady.
Okay. Number three, let me go ahead and take this off. Bookmarks. Okay, so my wife and sister in law have been hanging out with our two female neighbors, Pat and Judy, and they're into some shady SHIT. They didn't say stuff, they said SHIT.
Hmm.
Pat is tall and feisty, and she hates her cheating husband.
Mm.
She was arrested twice for stabbing him. Judy is
Mm.
skinny and quiet. Her man is disrespectful to her, but he never gets physical because Judy likes guns
Oh shit.
a lot. Judy takes Pat, my wife, and sister-in-law to the gun range. Now
Okay, that's
they've
not so
all got
shady.
now they've all got gun permits. They're learning how to shoot, and my wife has brought a gun. Wife says it's for security. I point out
Mm.
that we have security cameras. Wife, cameras are surveillance. Firearms are for security.
Mm.
Problem. The four of them have been spying on each other's men and starting SHIT. Pat and Judy spy on me, and my wife and sister-in-law spy on Pat and Judy's men. So I just pulled up to the motel with my favorite stripper. Then wife and Pat pulled me out of the car and pistol with me. As a man who loves his wife, I didn't press charges. But as a man with knots on my forehead, I don't feel safe in my home anymore. Advice.
All right. I like to go back through these to make sure I got everything accounted for. I got the whole story in my mind as I relay my advice. So, Pat and Judy are the neighbors, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's a wife and a sister-in-law, and they've been hanging out with Pat and Judy.
Yes.
Okay. And Judy, the one that like guns?
Yes.
All right. And Judy done got everybody into the gun range. Everybody got guns now.
Yes. They've all got gun permits.
We all holding. And so after learning this, and they're all spying on each other's men. They're like, oh, we the neighborhood watch for married men.
True, true.
And so when he pulls up to a motel, he goes to a strip club, picks up a stripper, takes her to a motel, and it's his favorite stripper. So he's seen her more than once at this point,
Hmm.
I imagine, because she's and that suggests that he's seen other strippers for this one to,
Be his
cut her
favorite.
to yeah, to cut her way to the top, to be the
Hmm.
favorite. Yeah. So this ain't his first rodeo. This is maybe just his first time getting caught. They don't say. But when
They
he
don't
saw it
say.
this time, Pat and his wife pull him out the car and pistol whip him.
Hmm.
I assume they don't do anything to the stripper.
He didn't say
They don't say. And he said he didn't press charges
because he loves his wife.
because he loves his wife,
Hmm.
and but he doesn't feel safe in his home anymore.
True.
Bro, you gotta divorce her, bro. You gotta get out of there. You gotta get out of there. Like you were wrong, sir. You should not have been playing with strippers when you got a wife, especially if that's not a part of y'all dynamic.
Mhm.
Um, and but she definitely shouldn't have. She should not have pistol whipped you, especially with this friend who's already mad at her man.
Judy.
But cause yeah, Judy mad at her man, so I'm sure they own some dumb shit just from real because they're like, oh, I'm sure their attitude is like, oh, all men bad. We need to fuck them all up. We just waiting on a reason. So Judy be fucking up her man every night probably, and was like, I want to fuck up your man, and we just need to catch him in some shit so that we can feel justified in fucking him up. And maybe they
Mhm.
do. Maybe they feel justified. And that's not for me to determine or for me to say yay or nay on whether they feel justified or not. But bro, if you don't feel safe with this woman no more, get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Pack up your shit and leave in the middle of the night. Wait till she go hang out with Judy at the gun range and just leave. Hopefully she don't just shoot you.
Yeah. Um, what I have to say is that she should have did something else with that gun.
Mm,
That's far worse than a pistol whipping.
mm.
She
Yeah,
should
Jerry,
have.
you said this early in the podcast. You are an evil person.
Are you picking it in your ear? Oh,
No, I had to
okay.
get.
So yeah, I think she should have did something else with that gun, because because obviously all the men on that block are doing something horrible to their wives. They're going
I don't
out
think
on
so.
them. It says on here, her man is disrespectful to her, but he never gets physical. That's Judy's husband, and
Hmm.
um, and Pat's
Pat's
husband is
husband.
cheating and was arrested twice for stabbing him. She was already arrested twice for stabbing him because he's cheating.
Yeah.
So
I
everybody on that block's
you
husband is doing bad, including you, who are cheating on your wife with your favorite stripper. Why else would you take?
I
Why else would you take your favorite stripper to a motel?
I would have had a conversation with my wife from the start. Like as soon as we learned that one of these girls done been arrested twice for stabbing her husband, and the other one, I didn't say the other one had committed any crimes, but as soon as we learned that, I'd have been like, yo, this might not be the best crowd for you to start hanging with. And I'm not going to tell you who to keep as friends, but you might want to think twice about these folks because they up to no good. They up here domestic violence in people.
But you can't choose your wife's friends. You
You
can't
can.
choose your wife's friends.
You
And
can.
if
You
that
can.
is
But you
who
can
her
have a conversation.
community,
You can have a conversation with your wife about about her friends and say, hey, I don't think these are the best influences for you.
If that is who her community is, instead of you talking to her like a child, then
Hmm.
then that's who her community is. And if they have
No,
welcomed
well,
her with open arms and they have taken her to places that you haven't taken her, they have done things with her that you have not done, and they have treated her like she's a part of a group, something that she's not getting from her husband, then why not? Why can't she be friends with these people? They love her. They actually
because
want
they're
to
a
be
bad
around her.
influence.
They're
They're a bad
not, but
influence.
they're not bringing strippers to motel rooms.
But they stabbing their husbands. Like, that's not a bad
Their
thing, Jared.
husbands who are doing bad things to them. And she's been in jail.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
But she's paid her price to society already. She's
Two
paid
wrongs
her,
don't make a right.
well,
And if
she's
this
paid
was,
her
and if
price
this,
to
and Jared, if this was
society.
the other way around, you would be like, oh, those men need to be in jail. They need to be doing this, that, and the other. They need to be dealt with. They need to be in jail forever. They need to be get a death sentence because they should not be doing that to those women.
Well,
Jared,
it's
stop
not the
it.
other way. No, it's not the other way
Stop it.
around. This is the thing that she is asked. This is the thing that he's asking advice for. This is what
Yeah,
he's
and my
asking.
advice, my advice is to leave that woman because she
Can
does not
I?
love you.
Can I talk?
Please.
She must love him because she is going through all these links to make sure that he is doing right. And she is wondering why you don't love her for bringing a stripper into the motel room because you
That's,
don't
I mean,
love her. You don't want to be with her. So why don't you just go ahead and leave her? Because you see she has these bad friends. So you need to get out. If you're so scared, you shouldn't be with a relationship, see behind somebody who you're scared of. So you need to get out.
so we
And
both we
if
both
you
end up in
no,
we
because if he wants to continue to do bad with these strippers or with anybody else, he needs to go ahead and get out of the relationship and do bad there.
so we end up in the same place, Jerry. He needs to leave this woman.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Hmm.
Period. Because yeah, because I've dated a woman who had a friend who um who DV'd her husband, and I was like, hey, I noticed you're a homegirl and y'all go back like four flats on a Cadillac, but either you need to really really think about your friendship with her and maybe just like talk to her about how she's been treating her husband because it's not right.
Okay, so did the husband do anything? Did he call the cops or
No,
anything? Okay, well,
no,
he should have.
she
She should have.
he should have.
He
The
should have.
husband should have. Yes.
True. Okay. Well, you
Mm,
can email your questions to blackgeekenergy@gmail.com. You can follow us on social media on Spill Black Geek Energy, Instagram Black Geek Energy, Facebook Black Geek Energy, Blue Sky Black Geek Energy, TikTok Black Geek Energy, YouTube Black Geek Energy, Twitch Black Geek Energy, Threads Black Geek Energy, and Twitter BGE_pod. You can also listen to me play live on Marvel 1619. The first two episodes are up where
mm,
where I am working with the intergalactic Wakandian Empire. And
mm-hmm,
at the end of last week's episode, it was very fun. But
mm-hmm.
oh yeah, did you ever listen to it?
I'm still listening to it, still working my way through it.
At the end of last week's episode, Okayo um
I'm still in
uh
episode one.
okay, well I won't spoil it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very, very fun and y'all gotta listen to it. But yeah, and DeMarcus,
Hmm.
did you also know that we have a cute little Patreon?
Yeah. I knew we had a big old Patreon with a vein in
Oh God, you always take
it.
it there. But our Patreon is where we talk about, more closed door things. We have more silent
Mm,
conversations. And
where Jerry gets drunk and
I've never been drunk.
reveals what happens between the sheets.
Never been drunk. And okay. Demarcus, there may be another link pretty soon.
Another link.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be up by the time this episode. I have gone ahead and made the preparations for our storefronts. And
Mm.
I've actually made a few designs. Well, it's just the logo.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
made a few designs. Um, and yeah, we just need a place. I'm thinking that we'll do it on Etsy. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I have some products that I like
Hmm.
to have on the storefront, and hopefully that link will be here soon.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're in the preparation of having a cute little store where you can buy all your Black Geek Energy merchandise and stickers. I have some stickers
Hmm.
up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah. So then, Marcus, do you have any final thoughts?
The Patreon is only $3 a month. That is 10 cents a day. So
Well,
go ahead.
how many cents a day is it for like January? Because that's 31 days.
I mean, so it's like 9.92 cents a day.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Can't do that math on the fly, I guess.
That's what I just did. That was all at the top.
All right.
Anyway, um, what did you? Any final words? The dichotomy of being a superhero and a parent is rough. Those of us who are burdened with genius often faced with really tough decisions. And it's really improper to judge someone from when you haven't walked a mile in their shoes. Um, it's very easy to paint someone as bad when you've never had to make the kind of decision that they have to make had to
Wow.
make. So
Wow.
you know, not to say that Reed Richards is a good or a bad person.
He's
He is
bad.
branded. He is branded as these are my final words, are they not?
I didn't,
These are my final words, are they not?
I'm not, you can go ahead and say what you got to say. I'm not
Okay, I
interrupting
appreciate
you.
it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, yeah, and we hope to see people always do good, especially when they are blessed with genius and power. But mistakes happen. Um, you know,
Mistakes?
let's, and I
Crazy.
just I just I just hope that we are all able to lead with grace and understanding
Hmm. And not racism, correct?
and not racism.
I mean, even though Reed's is okay.
That's not what anyone said, and no one. I still don't think that he's the racist.
But he was racist against mutants.
Jared, we've already talked about everything.
No,
So let's
I just want to clarify that you know that Reed was racist against mutants and that it was okay. Just to clarify.
I know that Reed Richards took the X gene or suppressed the X gene in his son so that
Mm-hmm.
he could not go to Krakoa.
Mm-hmm. And that was not a racist act to you.
That was a protective act by a concerned parent.
Okay. And it was also not a racist act to you.
That's not. I just answered your question.
No, you didn't ask my question. I said it
I
wasn't a
answered. I
racist act.
I answered your question.
So then no, that was not a racist act.
I answered your question.
Okay. So Demarcus is okay with racism. That's his final thoughts. And we will be back
Oh my
next
God.
week with another episode of Black Geek Energy.
BGE out.
Bye, everybody.